if you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Acknowledge me.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
We are bad to the bone. Get it? Bad to the bone.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I'll fight anybody who do you want. Just let me fight him.
Let me tell you something, Jim Ross.
Mega power, yeah. We got it for you.
We are the best of the best.
Woo! Wheeling dealing. Smart marks.
And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Talk 'em in the Building, a pro wrestling podcast that puts the focus on the promo. We talk about the talkers, we hype the hype man, and of course we pontificate upon the promo. I'm Adrian. You already know it's no BS coming from me. And I'm joined as always by the rest of the team. We got Out of Lead out in the West Coast, and we have the homie Greg representing the Bravos of Atlanta.
Hey.
Yes, sir. So, fellas, today for our Dusty review, I have a promo from last week's AEW Dynamite. It stood out to me. I wanted to get a conversation going. And ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time checking us out, when we do our Dusty reviews, we bring up a recent promo and we go over the pros, the cons, have a conversation about it. And in summary, we rate the promo. We go from a scale of 1 to 5 Dusties and determine whether or not it talked you into the building. So if this is your first time checking us out, thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And check out our back catalog. We got a lot of Dusty reviews and some pretty interesting ones on there. So be sure to check it out. It's on the page intothebuilding.com. It'll bring you right to it. We got a playlist with all of the Dusty reviews as well as full episodes. So, fellas, before we jump into this Dusty review, I want to talk about some recent news. Sunday, it was announced that Karrion Kross, or Killer Kross, known by some, and his wife, Scarlett, they're no longer under contract with WWE. And this didn't just come out of nowhere, because if y'all remember WrestleMania weekend, I want to say Kross did an interview, and he kind of had one of those intense, is it a work, is it a shoot type of moment where he pretty much blasted the company for highlighting performers like Logan Paul and musicians and all of that, while ignoring the guys that were putting in the work from day one, like him, like Karrion. And there was a lot of heat from that, and that kind of won over a lot of fans. But for some reason, he was pretty much stuck on the back end. He had a feud with Sammy. I liked a couple of those matches, particularly. I'm a fan of both of those guys. I enjoyed it. But all in all, Karrion Kross severely underutilized leading into his release. And that brings us to Sunday, where it was announced he's no longer with the company. And he doesn't just do that. He puts out a tweet and says, hey, check out this doc that we put together. And it basically, I don't know if y'all got a chance to check it out, but it's like an hour or so, and it is summarizing the week leading into his release. And it was pretty cool. Lot of little insider stuff that was pretty interesting. And basically is bringing us to this point, and this is why I brought it. He just brought out a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. His wife has a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. We don't know where he's headed. We don't know if he's headed to AEW. We don't know if he's headed to TNA. And I'm seeing a lot of conversations online, as always in the IWC. It's a lot of speculation. And the number one thing that's being speculated is, it's a work. It's a work. It's fake. It's this, it's that. It's a lot of conspiracy theories. I apologize for not bringing my tinfoil cap, but my question to you, Greg, do you think that this is a work?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's why. He also wrote a book.
Yes. I forgot the
Even though it's on ECW Press, it's not through WWE.
Mm-hmm.
and I know we're in a different world for WWE, right? We're in TKO. We're not
Mm-hmm.
WWE. When's the last time you saw a WWE contracted wrestler like, yeah, sure, go ahead and write your book. Yeah, sure, go ahead and promote it. Yeah, sure, do these different things while under contract.
Mm.
Yeah, sure, shoot this documentary, and we're not going to sue you when it comes out. And you're
Right.
using, I haven't seen it,
Okay.
but I assume there's some backstage stuff. There's some other things happening while you're under contract.
Definitely.
I don't know. Obviously, don't know the terms of anything.
Yeah.
But are you? And I don't know this answer by any stretch. Are you allowed to pop on pro wrestling tees within your 90 days? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't Sami Zayn have a T-shirt recently on Pro Wrestling Tees that was like raising money for something?
He always has one every once in a while. So does KO.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
are
it's
they
a
new
little.
ones that come out?
It's
I
a
don't
little
know.
gray.
I don't know that answer.
It's a little gray area legally, but yeah.
And it's the new world we live in.
Mm.
With what we just saw with Seth, this whole Unreal thing, and what we've talked about here. And y'all have always said kayfabe is dead, and I said this just changed. This to me is how it changes. And I mean, if it is a work, dude, it's awesome. If it's not, it's still awesome because now he's figured out how to operate within a new world of kayfabe. So it's a work some way, one way or the other.
Okay. Ali, do you think that is a work?
If he never signs with AEW, I will say with conviction it's a work.
Okay.
Because those WWE, AEW, unless there's some agreement, which is may as well hell freezes over 3 times over before that happens, right? But to Greg's point, there's just too many coincidences and too much access. Again, without having seen the documentary, I'll check it out.
Yeah, please do.
It's hard to say that you can use, WWE IP and some independent thing when they've closed out any contract. You can't mention them, you can't mention anything. And I'm curious if this is a test run beyond the Seth, right? To see how far they can push not just us as fans, but the wrestlers themselves. Because word is, they don't even know exactly what's going on, to the point that even companies don't know if they can reach out to him. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's just take it at its word. That leads me to believe there's some element of it, some working relationship where I don't know if he's under contract, but he didn't leave on bad terms, right? And that part is fun because it builds this curiosity.
Yep.
Because up until now, let's be real, unless you were really on the Karrion Kross train,
right,
he was just there.
Right.
Throwaway segments in the background, doing these cryptic promos, so to speak, but really not an impression. None of the feuds he had left a lasting impression on anyone, right?
Right.
At least for me, objectively. This is a dude that I've seen on the indies before he came in.
Right.
And again, it was very generic. He was a big, strong dude that I think can find a character. I will say this, because Greg brought up a good point. That book, that is a huge departure. Question, and I don't know if you guys ever remember, did they ever advertise it on WWE TV? Or even talk about it?
I don't recall.
He was, yeah. It's interesting because I feel like that whole path was, I didn't expect that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't expect it at all.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's like both of you said, whether or not it's a work or a shoot, it's very interesting because it has people's attention. It's trending worldwide on Twitter. Either we want Kross, I've seen that. Karrion Kross is trending. Like the attention is definitely on him. So whether or not he goes back to WWE, he'll have some buzz off of this. If he goes to AEW, if he pops up tomorrow on Dynamite and he shows up, it's going to be even more of a buzz, like he's put things in motion where it's damn near like you can't lose at this point, and Only thing I have to add to it before we move on to this review, I do think that it's a work, but kudos to them because this is the way that they should have handled when CM Punk beat Cena and left the company.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should have let CM Punk be away from WWE program for like a month, doing random stuff, doing Comic-Con like he did, doing indie shows, like all that kind of stuff, because it's going to have all of us talking, all of us interested, as in, is he with WWE? Is he not? You know, that sort of thing. It's the kind of intrigue that is very old school. And that's part of the reason why we all love pro wrestling. Like, these are the kind of angles that caught our attention. So it's kind of weird seeing it online of people critiquing it, saying, oh, it's BS. It's clearly BS, and poo-pooing on it when it's smart. It's extremely smart. People are talking about it. We're talking about it on a podcast. Everybody's freaking talking about it. Like, this is a win. This is a win for Karrion Kross, first and foremost. And if he's still involved with WWE, it's a win for them too. So I don't know. Yeah. But listeners, let us know in the comments, do you think that this Karrion Kross free agency, is it a work or is it a shoot? Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. We're interested to see it. But fellas, let's go ahead and get into this Dusty review. Like I said, it came from last week's Dynamite.
Official at Forbidden Door. It'll be you versus Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Unified Championship. Okada is arguably the best big match wrestler on the planet. As if that wasn't enough, are you concerned about the Don Callis family factor?
Quite frankly, I don't have much to be concerned with Don Callis because he's not even going to have to be ringside for this, being the Unified Championship rules and all. Matter of fact, the last time that Don Callis was ringside for one of my championship matches, me and my man Prince Nana here put him on his ass, and I walked away still AEW World Champion. Last year's Forbidden Door, I had to put down someone that I hold near and dear to my heart, a good friend of mine in Will Ospreay. And if I did that to my friend and family, what do you think I'm going to do to you, Okada? So Okada, the best big match wrestler in the world there ever was, Japanese wrestling legend, current unified champion. All of those things are factually true, and I agree with a few of them. But when they say that you're a generational wrestler that comes around once every 1,000 years, while I'm something that's never been seen before. There's never been a Swerve Strickland. After I'm done, there will never be another one afterwards. Three different occasions Okada has come at me. One of them going all the way back to Bad Blood and hell. As of recently, the last 2 weeks in Chicago, he stared me in my eye, and I saw nothing. If anything, he looked in my eye, and he saw death. I put the fear of God into that man. This isn't just a big match for the fans. This isn't just a big match for All Elite Wrestling. This isn't just a big match for the wrestling world. This is a big match for you, Okada, and it's a big match for you because you are facing off against the most dangerous man in All Elite Wrestling, and that is me. But this isn't just about you. This is about my redemption too, and the chip that I have on my shoulder, because I lost 2 of the biggest matches of my career back-to-back times in London. One of them being the main event of the World Championship match. So I devised myself a little plan. So for me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue my legacy by defeating the real, the literal Japanese legend, and I will stand in the middle of that ring, in the middle of the O2 Arena, over the defeated body that is Kazuchika Okada. And while Don Callis cries in the corner like the little bitch that he is, I'll have my arm raised with the unified championship in my hand, and everybody in London, England will scream and chant my name, whose house?
All right, so that was Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana. Shout out to Nana with the ad libs in the back and the dance. But we're headed to the O2 Arena. This on paper is a big match. Swerve Strickland, Okada, out of lead. What are your thoughts on these two guys matching up?
Man, we come off these conversations where we've talked about Okada missing the mark, right, in AEW, and this almost, we've talked about this version of Okada being almost a reset, right? Almost like going back to the Japanese legend. It's not this goofy character, and this is the thesis, right? For Strickland here, he's saying, I'm gonna take down the Japanese legend, but framing it in a way that treats him with the respect that he deserves, but also acknowledging the fact that this isn't literally your house. You are an outsider coming into AEW, and I've almost like built this house. The foundation is here, but I've brought this company forward as a figurehead. And I think that's interesting because, all that said, I don't think this is one of her stronger promos.
No,
there's a lot of portions where he's pausing. It's almost like he's forgetting his train of thought, and the crowd, I'll interpret it as this: the crowd is quiet with some peppering in there, but I don't think it's quiet because they're not invested. They're quiet because they're actually hanging on to the promo, which is interesting. And if you're watching this on audio and the video, even the framing of the promo is different. It's not the typical promo. It's not in the ring. It's not at the top of the ramp. It's not a backstage with some set dressing. It's at the bottom of the entrance ramp, or whatever the entrance ramp would be, with the crowd behind them, with a piece of the ring in the background, and Renee just kind of standing there, and she's great at what she does, so she does it well. I think even that framing, it's almost framed in a way to say the crowd is here, they're standing for you,
right?
But they're hanging on every word. And even though it's not his strongest promo, even Strickland's weakest promos hit the mark, right? They deliver to what it be. It did feel by the numbers, right? It did feel like he was hitting. But for me, what the standout where it puts it a little bit more over the top for a typical promo is he is a fully fleshed character, right? So even when the crowd is with him, right? The crowd is hanging on every word. It's just a shame that in some ways it does feel a little rushed, that it's already going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest takeaway from here.
Okay. Greg, what are you? I know you don't watch AEW quite frequently or whatnot, but you're aware of both of these guys. You're aware of the high level that Okada set back in New Japan, and you've definitely witnessed Swerve's arrival with AEW, where he pretty much rebranded himself and took over for a quick while. Greg, what are your thoughts on that promo?
Yes, I'll start with the positives first. So the positives to
please.
me, I've been very critical about how they've used Okada, right? I thought it's been a joke. What I liked about this is Swerve made Okada feel like a star. Whereas I don't feel like AEW has done a good job as a whole. They've done better recently, but as a whole of showing him as a star, as a top star in the world. And that's key to the psychological part, because if Swerve can make him feel like that star, that Japanese legend, that arguably best in the world at one point, if whether he wins or loses, he gains. So from a character standpoint, right? So you don't want to come in there and make Okada sound like he's just been a joke, and then you lose to him, you're like, well, now you're a joke. But now if I've put Okada up on this pedestal and I can beat him, now I've elevated myself. So that's smart, right? I think that part was good. The overall promo to me just felt flat. He showed a little passion at the end, but it felt repetitive. Like he just kind of said the same thing a couple of times. Prince Nana can just go away and I could deal with that. I'm like, if he adds nothing to me.
Really?
Like, first off, Swerve as a face, having this dude over here dancing and stuff is a joke. Like, I want to take Swerve serious, and then he's over here doing this little nana dancing crap. Like, come on, man. That's like putting, I don't know, like Drew McIntyre and having Santino with him. It would make no sense. And it's like, why have this little comedy dude next to me? To me, he adds nothing. He never has. I always felt like he should get rid of him. But so I have a hard time taking that part serious. I like Swerve as a whole. I just think I don't understand that. But that's neither here nor there. For whatever reason, AEW loves their little secondary people. So they like to put that. So that to me takes away from his promo. Okay. But that's, maybe a personal thing. The crowd almost felt like a studio audience comedy sitcom crowd. Like all of a sudden there's a light that comes on and says, cheer now.
Cheer. Yeah.
Cheer now. Because I don't know that they're hanging on every word or if they're just trying to hear it. I don't know. I just felt no passion. Like you listen to a Punk promo, whether it was at AEW, WWE, it doesn't matter where it was. And you hear that passion, those people pop. They want to be there. They're invested. This was kind of like, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, you're right. All right, cool. It wasn't invested. And like you hear it sometimes with Hangman Page, you hear those people get behind him. Like they genuinely love him. I think Swerve has lost a lot. I think he's lost a lot of that crowd where they don't hang on every word. I don't think they dislike him, but I don't think he has him in his palm like he did for a while.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He definitely lost a little momentum, which is one of the main reasons why I even brought this promo, because I really do think that both of these guys need each other. Like we've said this time and time again. When it comes to AEW and their pay-per-views, the matches are going to be high level on the money for the most part. Especially toward the end of the pay-per-view, no matter how long they are. But, this is one of those matches that I think in the ring is gonna cook. And we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be rewatching it, that sort of thing. The challenge is, like y'all have said, the build toward it. I think that the build and the story and these promos and these segments leading into the match only enhance it that much more. And I'm hoping that this is more of a Kickstarter for the next couple weeks to lead into this match, because Okada needs it. Okada needs a big match. In the O2 Arena. They're going to go crazy for Okada because, a lot of, make no mistake about it, AEW fans are the New Japan fans from 10 years ago, like that's what it is. And they're going to go crazy for that. And I think Swerve needs Okada. Swerve currently, it doesn't make sense for him to go for the world championship. Not right now, because he and Hangman have already had their tiff and it's still kind of recent. So what better opportunity to highlight Swerve in a feud with their longest reigning AEW champion, Okada. Like, he just finished beating Omega. The guy on paper, like Swerve said, is a Japanese legend, a modern day legend. So on paper, and I'm going to keep saying this, on paper, this is a perfect matchup. Both these guys need each other. And I'm just hoping that the promos leading into it maybe kick up a little notch, because I do agree. It did fall a little flat for me. It seemed like maybe a minute or so should have been shaved from that promo. That would have probably made it. I do like the production angle, though. Ali brought it up, showing the crowd is behind them. We know that AEW is now hosting smaller venues, which makes sense. It gives you that feeling that it's the place to be. It's more exclusive now versus all of the jokes, the LOLs of, man, they're at a half empty arena or they're quarter full. Like, we're not hearing that because they're filling out these smaller venues and it's a fun show. So now what? Now what are you going to pick it? You know, it's that sort of thing. And I do like that for AEW for right now. It's like we're scaling back to build back up. And this feud is a perfect example of AEW's trajectory this summer, where they're trying to make some things happen by starting a little bit more grounded and building up. So let's go ahead and get into these Dusty reviews or Dusty ratings. And Adelite, I'm going to go to you first, man. This Swerve promo on Dynamite, from a scale of 1 to 5 Dusties, what are we going at?
I'm going to be, again, he has a lot of good favors still in my heart, because I think everything that we said tonight about Swerve still stands. I think he's a superstar.
Absolutely.
I've been calling him heavyweight champion in any company for years. I'm going to give it a solid 3. It's right, almost smack in the middle, just because it didn't feel like a standard promo. He did trip up a couple of times. But at the end of the day, frankly, I'm probably the most invested I have been, because I wasn't super hyper aware this is kind of the direction they were going completely, especially after the Okada piece. So I think 3, it's going to talk me into watching the next show just to see, again, are they building on it, right? Where does this go?
Right. What do we hear from Okada? What's the follow-up? You know, that sort of thing. All right, Greg, what's your rating for that promo?
Right now I'm going 2.
Okay.
It was too long. It was repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had opportunity to tell a little bit more story. While he put, Okada over some, I think he could have unpacked a little bit more why he needs this, a little bit more why. And it really talked me into the next piece. I'm curious about the next session, the next piece, but I'm not talked into the building. And I'm, to your point, they're gonna bang. They're gonna have a banger of a match, no doubt.
Absolutely.
And I know that, right? That's AEW, right? AEW is a standalone. You go watch pay-per-view and be like, holy crap, that was awesome.
Right.
But I want to be emotionally invested, and he got me none of that. Doesn't mean he can't, right? Doesn't mean the next one can't, but that one's standalone, 2 Dusties.
That's absolutely fair. And like you said, Swerve is absolutely capable of getting us locked in and talked into the building, because, I mean, we just recently saw it with his feud with Hangman. Like that, they were cooking. Both of them were on fire. And same thing with Will Ospreay, his back and forth with Will Ospreay. They gave themselves some time. So I am optimistic. I'm trying to be optimistic about pro wrestling overall, guys. So I am optimistic that this was just step 1, and that, in a couple of days when Dynamite, or tomorrow when Dynamite comes on, we're going to get a follow-up from Okada, or we're going to get a backstage segment with Swerve or something. I'm giving it 3 Dusties. I'm right in line with you fellas. Again, optimistic about it, but the promo kind of fell flat, ran a little long, and it seemed it didn't seem like a full thought. It was like we're picking a few things and we're trying to piece it together, but it didn't really come out together as a masterpiece. So it is what it is. We'll see this week. And hopefully, we know that the match is going to be a really good match. We just want to see the story develop, the feud develop, the drama develop, because all that stuff enhances the match that much more. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us know down below. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Do you agree? What about Nana? Because I know a lot of us, we love Nana. So I want to see in the comments y'all push back on Greg on that one. But we're
keep
talking
in mind, I'm okay with Nana if he was somebody else, not with Swerve. Put him with somebody else.
That's fair. But ladies and gentlemen, we're talking in the building, a pro wrestling podcast that puts the focus on the promo. We talk about the talkers, we hype the hype man, and of course we pontificate upon the promo. That's Greg, Adelite, and I'm Adrian, and we're out.
You don't know